Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder Path Trading Partners along with Bob Iacchino. So, another day of market overview. Again, the whole purpose of this is not only to provide some macro levels for that we can identify ahead of time, but it's also to show individuals how to update things intraday should they want to help fine-tune their levels, which I will also go over. So this will help the sort of the macro and the micro trader. So we had a rotation down, but we already identified this 43.17 level, finding some key support there. Still in a descending consolidation pattern. Not much else to talk about besides that, unless we do get above the daily rotation zone on a closing basis, which is coming in at about 43.80. What I'd be watching though for, I just go above that 43.84 for a key close above that would give it a little cushion and get the rotation zone out of the way. Looking at the shorter term charts, again, we identified these levels 43, 43.50. This is a 1 hour chart, and then 43.35 to 43.32.50. Now, once we got this pausing area, that was a great way to update the harmonics. Again, these are the 12 and the 25% projections, and I've gone over stuff in videos, how I set up my charts, how I set up levels. They're all for free on this channel. But this gives us a pausing bar. Make sure you use pausing bars, and that just reinforced. Then we got 43.31.75 to 43.32. And then 43.21.75. So look at that. Closing basis paused right there, spike down just below that, but then strong reversal, nearly closing at that level. And then rallying up just slightly above our 43.55. By the way, this is not a double top because the levels exceed the move that formed it. So this is just a series of 3 key tops. But you see here all these little spikes, so we can update this level a bit. Remember to focus on key closing prices. And you can see here clearly now with that updated level, support, support, resistance. So that's going to be a key level to utilize tomorrow. And we're going to update to this pausing bar. Not only is that a 1 hour pausing bar, it is a key 4 hour pausing bar. And jumping that 4 hour chart, remember we had all those spikes into that level. We just updated just above that 43. What was that level I just moved? We had it slightly below. We had 43.55 or something. I just bumped that up. But when you see here on the 4 hour, you see all those spikes, but then it could not get a close even into the rotation zone on the 4 hour. So I will use the rotation zone. By the way, the yellow line or orange, whatever you want to call it, is 8 EMA. The blue is a 21, and the green is the 50 EMA. So what's that? So key resistance on any rally, our first minor resistance is coming in about 43.47, 43.50 area. And then I'd strongly watch my key area, besides fine-tuning it with more price action that unfolds overnight, would be about 43.57. That's the top of the rotation zone, and this level we just bumped up to take into account, again, today's hourly price action. Above there, I'm watching 43.68.50, then 43.84 again. And then above that, we have 4,400, which is major, major key resistance and also a key gamma level for options. Support. Now we've rotated back down. So to support would be today's lows, and we have this 43.17 area, which we already identified. So that's the major first support level. Then below that, we have 43.04. And then below that, I'm watching this, we have this path trading trend line, and we have a harmonic level coming in about 42.96 area. That's right here. So 42.96 to 42.91 is my major support. If we drop below that, that would that's where I'll watch for a closing basis, because even if we drop below with a spike down here, remember there's a lot of buying pressure down there. We will watch going into the close, because you'll definitely want to close above this 42.96, but the 4,300 is also a very strong option gamma area, so you can start getting close below there, negative gamma and delta start kicking in drastically. Now, on an intraday spike basis, we have 42.71, 75, 42, 75, 50, 42.80, which then I use with the intraday projections to fine-tune which of those levels to focus on the most. Overall, though, daily rotation zone still against it. We had some buying, coming into after we did that spike down today. So that's what I'm going to be watching, at least to see if this buying little continues, and we're going to attempt to soften up the daily rotation zone again. By the way, if you're watching, if you trade the SPYs or the Qs, or the diamonds, that's fine. Just use this analysis, and you can translate these levels because the charts are going to be very similar. So you can use the key highs and lows and set up your charts the same. And if you use TradingView, you can pretty much duplicate exactly what I have, and I lay out everything. If you have specific questions, leave them in the comments. It's the point of this. It's not just for me to spoon feed the levels. It's I can help identify the levels, and then it's for you to learn how to do this yourself. Now, Nasdaq. See, we have 46.01. Let me go down to shorter term chart. And that's why I put on many different levels, because again, as I stated in a Tesla video, I'm trying to help people with all different time frames, from the micro traders down to the macro traders, identify key levels. So you see here, really nice, we have this 14,601. Look at how nicely that held. This was a sloppy double bottom. So right there with the that was pretty good with the conservative targets. That was the peak right there. I'll just show you because it's reversing this move. So those were the conservative targets. The aggressive targets were this. We also had a divergence down there. So that was pretty key. But look how nicely that level held on a closing basis, this 14,601 area. Not quite down to this 14,582, just spiking down there and then retesting it. But you see here, those were either the conservative or aggressive, depending on with the amount of momentum. It was nicer to use the aggressive ones off here with this strong reversal bar. It's sort of that's the aspect, that's the art form, whether you go with conservative or aggressive. I generally look at it, how choppy we've been and how much we reverse off the lows. So this was a pretty strong momentum move, but it gave 14,732. And then you had to go down to the next time frame lower, but we already identified this 14,755. You see here, spike above, spike above, spike above, and then selling off. So it could not get a sustained close above that level. And so we're going to leave that in place. Going to come down. Just going to use the longer term pausing bar right here. So you can see here, that's the longer term pausing bar. And you see here on the 4 hour, spiking in there, but you watch the closes. It's closed just at the bottom of the rotation zone, spiking above it, but then closing back down. Spiking in, could not get a close into it. This is why you pay attention. Closing prices, I'm going to keep saying this, are the most important prices on any bar. My support zone, which we're trading at right now, 14, about 576 to 14,585. We start breaking below that. I'm targeting 14,534 and 535, and then 14,483. Below that, we're then, well, if we get below that, I'm watching really down towards this 14,400. And then below that, we still have the same levels in place, 14.2 and then 14.032. Let's take a look at the bigger picture for the Nasdaq. So again, major support. Let me zoom in. I know sometimes it's harder to see the levels. I'm trying to zoom in as much as possible. Key support is 14.482 to about 14.468 based off the daily chart. You don't want to see a close below about 14.468. Preferably, you don't even want to see a close below this key close of 14.462.25. So that's my major support coming in on a rally in this 14.755. If we get above there, my next target is about this 14.850 level. And then I'm targeting this area where we had some selling pressure and this key gap open of 14.891.25 with the descending daily rotation zone. Above there, 14.955, 15,000, 15,080, and then your major trend line resistance going into tomorrow is about 15,080 to 15,111. Finally, wrapping it up with the mini Dow. Mini Dow. Let's take a look here. So we had, let me jump that 4 hour. So we had this double top pattern coming down. You take off these minor levels for a second. You see here we had a key level of 34,175 area. So we had that significant level and the double price projection, which was the first level to move down a stop, and it's holding there on a closing basis. So this has turned into very key support. 34,175. We dropped below there, 34,071, 33,963. Then major coming in about 33,800. On a rally, my key levels are still 34,453. Then above that, I am watching for major resistance coming in about 34,733, which is this area of the declining. We actually have a redraw here with the declining trend line and significant level. So that's my major key resistance on a strong rally. My major key support area below 33,963, coming in 33,800. Then we have 33,711 to 33,654. Don't want to see a close below 33,654 on a major sell-off because that would trigger some pretty substantial, most likely selling price action. That's what I have for you on S&P, Nasdaq, and the mini Dow futures, and I will talk to everyone later. Bye for now.